Okay, hello. This time we're going to draw on the screen instead of just writing text on the screen. So we're going to do that using something called OpenGL and OpenGL utility library. And they are combined into one, so or we have utility library that includes OpenGL also. So fun enough, it's called GLUT, which software developers are always bad to name things, so just deal with it. And if you're going to work in software development, you're going to start to ignore what people name things, because they always name them insanely. So first we need to initialize it. Like the last time we initialized the ncursor library, this time we need to initialize the GLUT library. And then we need to jump into the GLUT library's main loop, meaning that we hand over control from us to the library. And for the library to actually do something for us, we need the library to be able to call us back. So we provide something called the display function. And this display function will be called every time the GLUT library needs to redraw a window for us. But before that, we need to set up some display mode. And display modes here tells if you want single buffering or no buffering at all, or if you do double buffering. I think we'll go with double buffering. I think it's called double, or is it called double buffering? We'll see. And we want RGB as our color mode, and also RGB alpha, so you can have transparency if you want to, but we don't want transparency right now. And we need to open a window. We need to create a window. This is my window. It's not yours, it's my window. And we need to set the size. And let's go with 150 times 150. That's a good size. So now we have initialized the library. We tell the library what display mode we want. We tell it to create a window. We tell it the size of the window. And we tell it, if you want to render this window, please call me at this function, and then hand over the responsibility to the library. So here in the display function, we're first going to clear our back buffer. And you have a set buffer also, which is a depth buffer, which have another bit, but for this one we're just going to clear a color buffer bit. And in the end we're going to swap buffers, so since there are multiple buffers, there's an S on that, and just not swap buffer. In the end cursor it was called refresh, and in this case it's called swap buffer. Does the same thing. Now we're going to figure out what we're going to draw. So we have our window, missing window with a coordinate system that has 0, 0 in the middle, and -1, -1, and 1, 1. And we want to draw a triangle, epic triangle. So up here would be 0, -1. Say this is down in the corner here, so that would be 0. So that would be that, and that one we already have 1, 1. So let's try to type in that here. And each corner is called a vertex. So we have 0, -0, -1, and then we have a z coordinate. That's the depth into the screen or out near me. So, but since we're not using 3D right now, we can just leave it at 0. And the next one was -1, 1. And the last one was 1, 1. And then we need to tell the system what object to draw here. So this is a polygon. And it's telling the system that actually 3 vertices is going to be provided here. So we clear the buffer. In the buffer we tell it we're going to draw a polygon, and here's our 3 vertices for that, and that's the end of that. And then we need to flush it, and this will flush these commands down to your graphics card, and then tell the graphics card to swap the buffers. Could be good to add a color here also, so let's remove that ugly drawing. I have color 3F, and let's make it white. So it's RGB. That's the R, G, and B, red, green, and blue. So let's create it white. And here we got the epic triangle, and I got my coordinate system wrong apparently, because it's upside down, but that's fine. We can fix that if we want, and that's just swapping the signs of one of these. And there we go. Our very nice triangle. Just to make it a bit more pleasing to the eye, let's change the color for each vertex. And let's go with just red, green, and blue. First red, and green, and blue. And there we go. And in the next video I will draw some kind of snake and try to draw a snake instead of a text graphic. So happy joy. This program will be available on Bitbucket, and the link is in the description.